units and measurements are very important chapter. For example, if you say that your height is say 5 feet 6 inches, then this is a measurement. Now how we call a particular measurement, because what we say is that we are having a feet as the basic unit, and then 5 times of that unit is 5 feet, and then half of that will become 6 inches. So in order to measure anything in our life, we have to compare it with some basic unit. So suppose you are saying that this person's weight is 70 kgs, then what we are saying essentially is that the weight of that person is 70 times the weight of 1 kg. So that 1 kg, what we are saying is the unit of measurement. So similarly, there are different units of measurement for length, time and other things. So we are going to learn about units of measurement, which is the most fundamental topic in physics. So what is the unit of measurement? The measurement of unit means when you are comparing any physical quantity, any physical entity with already decided an international unity, and then that is called measurement. Now the measurements can be of two types of units. The one unit is called fundamental units or base units. The fundamental units are those units which cannot be divided further. For example, length. If you are measuring the length in meters, then you cannot divide meter into any other dimension. So this becomes a fundamental unit. In the same way, suppose time is there. So time we are generally measuring in terms of seconds. Now for measuring of the time, you have to use seconds, because you cannot measure time in meters. You cannot measure times in kgs. So that is why this unit become a fundamental unit. Other than those fundamental units, there are many other units which are a combination of different fundamental units. For example, let us take the velocity. Now velocity is the distance covered in a particular span of time. So in a unit time, suppose you cover a distance of 10 km in 1 hour, then that becomes basically a velocity or a speed. So here two things are involved. One is the length, which is expressed in terms of kilometers. Other is the time, which is expressed in the terms of hours. Of course, we can convert that into seconds also. So this is a derived unit, because there are two units involved. One is length, other is time. When we put all the units together, then that becomes a system of units. So you have to understand now three things. Number one, there are fundamental units which cannot be divided into any other parts. The second is the derived unit, which are derived from the fundamental units. And third is the system of unit, which is combination of both type of units. There used to be different type of measurements. Like for example, in certain countries there was a CGS system. CGS system means length is measured in centimeters, weight is measured in grams, and the time is measured in seconds. So this was popular unit in some countries. Then in some countries like England, for example, FPS system was popular, where the length will be measured in the terms of feet or foot, and the weight will be measured in terms of pound, and the time will be measured in terms of seconds. Then there was third, which was called MKS unit, where the length will be measured in the terms of meters, then weight in kilograms, and the time will be measured in seconds. So there used to be different unit, and each country used to have different systems. So gradually what happens that in order to make the things more scientific, the world over scientific community came together and they devised a system which is called International Systems of Unit, and in the French it is called Systems International Unit. That means basically SI unit. That is how the word SI unit has come. So this system is now accepted all over the world by all the scientific community. Even though, for example, it is still common to say that this man is of 5 feet 6 inches, and so we are measuring still in inches and feet, but this is not the way we express the scientific unit. Scientific unit will say this person is 1.65 centimeters, 1.65 meters, or 165 centimeters. So 1.65 meter, when we say this become an SI unit. Now what are the different units in SI units? This we must understand. There are 7 basic units of SI. For the length, we are using meters. For the mass, we are using kgs. For the time, we are using seconds. For electric current, to measure the electric current, we are using ampere. And for measuring the temperature, we are using Kelvin. And for measuring the amount of substance, we are using a very specific unit called mole. It is mentioned as mole. And for measuring the intensity of light, for example, if there is a tube light which is giving you light, then it is also giving you heat, it is also giving you light. If you are measuring only the light, This is called luminous intensity, and this is measured in terms of candela. So these are the 7 units, and the symbol of those units are shown as following. You can see the picture and you can find out as to these are the units and these are the symbols. So let me explain the concept of mole. Mole basically means is that if you take one atomic or the molecular weight of a particular item, then how many molecules will be or how many atoms will be there. For example, carbon. Now the carbon's atomic weight is 12. So if I take 12 grams of carbon, then how many carbon atoms will be there? This is what is called mole. So suppose you go for hydrogen, then hydrogen molecule is H2 and its molecular weight is 2. So if you take 2 grams of hydrogen, then how many molecules will be there? That is what is called mole. So the mole can be of different measurements. For example, it can be for atoms, it can be for molecules, it can be for ions, electrons and other specific groups. So for example, in 2 grams of hydrogen, you will have 1 mole of hydrogen molecule, but you will have double of that as number of moles of atom, because each molecule will have 2 atoms. So I hope you are able to understand that moles basically means that if we take 1 gram molecule of that particular substance, then how many atoms or molecules will be there in that particular substance. Now in addition to that, the 7 units which we have described, there are 2 other fundamental units which also are extensively used in science. The first unit is called radian. The radian is basically when you are measuring an angle, then you measure that particular angle in terms of radian, and it is basically the ratio of arc and the ratio of the radius. That is for the purpose of plane, and for the purpose of volume or for the purpose of spherical surface, we used a term called steradian. This is used for measuring the volume. Now I will be explaining that in a short while. So let me first further explain the 2 other units which we can call supplementary fundamental units. The first is radian. Now what is radian? Radian basically means that we have, let us say, we make a circle, and in that circle this is the arc and this is the radius. So if we measure this length of this arc and divide it by the radius, which we can say r, then that will be called basically radian. So if we are saying theta, which is the radian theta, d theta, we call it d theta, then that will be equal to the length of the arc, divided by radius. So you can say that this is a length, this is also a length, radius is length and arc is also a length, and therefore this radius is basically a dimensionless quantity. There is no dimension on the radius. So as you can see that this is how we measure the radius. If you want to measure the radius of a circle, then let us make suppose we take a circle like this, and in this circle we take arc, this is your arc and this is your radius. So the total arc, if you take the complete arc from end to end, then we know that the total length of this periphery is 2 pi r. So if we take the total measurement of the radius, then it will be 2 pi r divided by r, and that is equal to 2 pi. So the point is that if we take the complete circle from here to here, then the radius value will be 2 pi. So this is the measurement of radius, and this pi, as we know, is equal to approximately 3.14. So the radius measurement of a complete circle is equal to this multiplied by 2. So as we have seen that we measure the plane angle in terms of radian in a plane, in the same way when it is a question of a sphere, for example, when we want to measure the spherical object or a three-dimensional picture, in that situation we generally use steradian. Now let us understand that steradian. So suppose this is we take a small piece of sphere and connect it with the center. Now this is a small piece of sphere and this is connected with the center, and this is, let us say this is the radius and this is called r, and the area of this is dA, and this particular angle is called d omega. So d omega, which is the steradian, that is equal to dA divided by r square. This is the measurement of steradian. So here also we can see that this area is in terms of meter into meter, because it is always length into width, and in the same way the radius is also measured in terms of meter into meter, and therefore it is a dimensionless quantity. So steradian, like radian, is also a dimensionless quantity. So suppose I ask you that what is the steradian of a complete sphere, then we can say that the total area of this particular sphere is going to be 4 pi r square, while the radius is equal to r square. So this and this will go, so it will become 4 pi. So just like we have seen that in the case of a circle, the radian is 2 pi. In the case of a sphere, the complete thing will be 4 pi. So this is the maximum radian possible. So I hope that you have been able to understand the different dimensions. So in this, today we have learned about the 5 basic fundamental units plus 2 supplementary fundamental units, and these 9 units basically will be used extensively in physics. And in addition to that, there will be many derived units also which will be used for measurement of different quantities like velocity and other things.